Hey guys. Is it focused? Probably fucking not. You know why? Because I've realized all fucking cameras suck. The bad energy already coming through. I'm embarrassed. It's been so long. Whatever. It's okay. You guys still love me, I hope. Hey guys. Welcome back to Was That TMI, where we tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. Today, I have my sweet little diary here. I don't even know. I don't even remember how to do this. I don't think I'm going to cut any of this. Let me give you guys a rundown on life recently. First of all, we need a time and setting. It is 6:06 p.m. I am in Florida, BFE, buttfuck, Egypt. I learned that not too long ago. I'm sitting at Dollar General, which is like my local mall pretty much, and we are just living life. We're living life, baby. So obviously, I took a massive break from the pod. I know I uploaded one with my friend Ford. If you haven't watched it, I think it's actually a really funny episode. We're kind of like drunk and tired in the Bahamas, so that just sounds interesting as a whole. But I haven't done a solo epi in a mini. Ew, I hate our generation. I haven't though. And I talked about like 2 episodes ago how I was probably going to stop the podcast, or how I at least wanted to. And I will say the amount of support messages and just like things I've heard from people, even like meeting you guys, who were like, please don't stop TMI. Like, I love your podcast. I love listening to it. I think, here's what I think. This is what happened. I obviously had a rough winter last year. If you're new to the pod, you didn't experience that. Honestly, pat yourself in the back. You got fucking lucky. I had a big depresso mode winter last year and this year, some of it. Just was not doing good, was not happy, was not fulfilled. I felt so lost and alone, which I've come to realize now, being out of that state of mind, that's okay. It's okay to feel that way. But I was just not doing good. And I put out that 1 million video I've spoken about. I think it really turned things around for me. It kind of made me realize where my passions lie. And that is, one, I learned to start off my passion in this, just in my life, was making videos. And it wasn't making videos just like going on TikTok and filming a Get Ready With Me. And I'm not shitting on that at all. This is just what I enjoy. It wasn't doing that. It wasn't making videos on TikTok. I still am trying to learn to enjoy that, or at least just do it. It was creatively like directing and making videos. I don't even like cameras. I don't give a shit to learn about cameras. I don't care to learn about video quality, and you can put it in this setting and the slow-mo is going to be good, and the XR speed. I don't even know that's a thing. I'm making up words. I don't give a shit about any of that. I don't care about filming, photography. I like the creativeness of it. And making my 1 million video reminded me so much of that passion. I'm like sitting in my bedroom and I'm like, Sadie, you would not sit in here for I sound like such a narcissist just talking about myself. We're gonna get into this, whatever. I was like, Sadie, you wouldn't sit in here and edit for 2 weeks straight and just like get fucking pale and skinny because I'm barely eating and just like full on locked to my computer. I would not have done that if I didn't love it. And it's true. I fucking love that shit. I love, like, when I would make those videos with my old friend Rylan, and we would do like the Doug and Trey skits. I enjoyed it so much because I felt like it was playing a character, and almost like it was just creative. Like, we were having to be creative and think of things to do. Like, I love that side of videos. Video editing, I wouldn't even say I enjoy video editing. I just like creating a storyline is what I love. And so I was thinking a lot about that this year, because I was talking to my mom and I was like, I don't even fucking like anything online anymore. Like, I just don't want to do it anymore. And she was like, okay, well, listen, you can do whatever you want, but that is your passion. That's what you love and that's what you're good at. I think you just it's just changed. The world of online has changed. Even I would say podcasting, that's not my passion. I do it because, what I was going to say, my other passion I realized and didn't understand growing up, but I'm blessed enough to say I got this and I'm lucky enough to live it, is you guys, like, people. I find it so, I feel so connected to y'all. I feel so happy when I meet you guys. I feel like I just love connection. I love human connection. I love people. And you guys, like, that's the reason I whip out my phone all the time. And if my fucking Instagram, like, literally this happened the other day, my Instagram DMs, like the requested DMs where I can see what all of you guys like say, weren't working. It wasn't updating. And people were like, well, you don't need it. Like, you don't necessarily need it. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? I look at what people say all the fucking time, because it's like, if I post a story and it's humorous, I want to see what you guys say, because that's what makes me laugh. It's like comments on TikTok. But also, if I post an emotional story, I like going and reading y'all's messages for it. I have a P.O. box getting your letters. I'm fucking writing all of you guys back right now. Not everyone, but the ones that really stick out to me, I've been writing back to. I feel passionate about that. I can sit for hours and do that type of stuff. And so I think just I was a little bit selfish these past few months, but it was almost needed to like take a step away from everything and be like, okay, what do I want? Not even necessarily what do I want for like the rest of my life, or what do I want in general, but I don't know, I guess this could be relatable for people like going into college and picking what degree they're going to study, or what college they're going to go to, or what job they're going to have. Like, I don't know, just all of that. It's hard. It's hard to think about in life what we want and what's going to make us happy. And you feel like you don't want to pick the wrong thing. And those months of sadness and then making that 1 million video really made me be like, all right, I'm going to seriously live out my next few months just selfishly and do things I enjoy, and like tap into different areas and see what I genuinely like. Do I sound like a fucking psychopath right now? I hope this is kind of relatable. And I love being alone, which, why am I about to get like emotional? I love being alone. I really do. I've grown to love it. And I love people as well. I love meeting new people. I love hanging out with people. But I think like, what the fuck is that thing that they talk about? Your frontal lobe develops. I feel like, I don't want to sound like a fucking cocky ass bitch or just like stupid saying this, but I feel like I'm just like matured a lot recently, like a lot. And just even like I'll go watch videos of me from fucking last December, or like things I'm saying, and I'm just like, I would never say that now. Like, I don't know, a lot has changed in like my mind recently, and I feel like it's kind of happened for a lot of people. A lot of people are kind of doing their own things recently, and I think it's dope. I think it's super cool. I've gone through so many different eras in my life already at a young age. I'm not even 21, and I feel like I've already went to college. I feel like I have my job, my career. I know what I'm like wanting to do somewhat, or like I'm already in it. And I have a bunch of more things to experience, but I've traveled a ton. I've met tons of people. I've been introduced to different spaces and things like that. And I've found I have the most peace and happiness like living out in BFE with my family and making little videos on TikTok or Snapchat. And like, yeah, that's not necessarily my passion, but I don't know. I don't care to like climb up the ladder of social media, or just like the social ladder. Like, I don't care to be in a room with people who are better than me so I can like be better in a business world. Yeah, that's cool, but like my goals don't lie there. None of that. He was blowing me up. I don't know. None of that interests me. Like, I think success is awesome. You always want to be successful. I think that you want to see things you do good in this world. And like, I guess in the social media world, that's a huge thing. I went to like a birthday party. Everyone there was super awesome, like sweet people. They were influencers and stuff. I couldn't say a bad word about one person, but they were just talking about like influencing and brand deals and events and like kind of that type of thing. And I realized like, I'm just not interested. It doesn't interest me at all. And that's kind of a hard concept and mindset to have when the world we live in now of social media is like influencing, events, brand deals. That's what it is. Short form content. I don't enjoy that. That's not me. That's not what I like. And I guess a podcast can be seen as like long form content, but I got sick of talking about my life so much, and I felt like there wasn't a lot of talk about in my life, and I feel like I don't have as much relatableness to myself anymore because I'm not in college. I don't really have friends. I kind of do my own thing, which I guess is relatable to some, but it was just like I had nothing to talk about every week other than my fucking emotions. And I felt like I was diving almost too deep into my emotions to where I was like overthinking everything. And I was just like, I'm going to stop this for a little bit. And then we kind of thought about having guests on and maybe like me getting a co-host, which I think is dope. But I also think it's like I'm such a lone soul that how would that even really work? Because I don't really plan on moving. I do. I'm going to test the waters on a few places, but I've grown to fucking love where I live. I know in the wintertime it's boring and I'll probably be bored, but living where I live and then traveling as well has been amazing these past few months. I know literally 2 fucking episodes ago, I was in Georgia and I was like, I'm moving to Georgia, blah, blah, blah. Maybe that will come. But right now, this feels right where I am. It feels right. I love my family. I love being around my family, even though my dad pisses me the fuck off sometimes. Love you, Dad. But holy shit, we butt heads. He would say the same exact thing about me. He's a great man. He does great things for our family. But we can butt heads. Same with Kelly. We've actually gotten better about it, though. She says she's scared of me. So there's an update there. But I don't know. I've just loved it. I've loved being home. I've really loved it. And I've loved being in the middle of nowhere. I wake up in the morning. I fucking do a Pilates class. I go and I get a Starbucks coffee. They built a Starbucks 10 minutes from my house, which is awesome. I used to have to drive 25. I get a coffee. I go home and I work on a few things. Maybe I'll hit the beach that day. I'll go for a walk or run at night. There's a horse down the street named Hope that I go and visit. I love this little life. I think I like this little life. Literally me. I love peace, peacefulness, no sound. There's no outside noise. I know some of y'all are jealous. I know some of y'all are like, damn, you fucking loser. But dead ass, I've loved just the country little peaceful life. Well, we're going to get into the journal in a minute. With that being said, I'm like, all right, I do have a career though. And first of all, how am I going to find a husband? That's been on my mind a lot recently. I've met a few boys recently. You're going to hear a few stories. But I was like, okay, so I live in the middle of nowhere. How would I ever meet someone? And then my dad was like, Sadie, you travel all the time. And I was like, wait, you're literally so right. Why am I tripping? I also just have a lot of faith recently. Well, I feel like I always have, but just so much faith. Like I have so much faith that it's all going to be fine. So I don't need to worry about how am I going to meet a husband, blah, blah, blah. But I was like, all right, there does need to be some interesting factors to my life. I would be so down to buy a farm and have animals and a house and take you guys along that journey. If it starts pouring rain, I'm gonna be pissed. And I've looked at a few places, but I was like, okay, that's a lot. Buying a house is a lot and buying a farm is a lot. I'm so indecisive. It's actually hilarious. But I think it'd be cool. But I also travel a lot. I wouldn't want to put my mom in charge of all the animals all the time. And I am only 20. So I was like, maybe I'll just still chill for a little bit. See where the wind takes me. I think that'd be super fun though. And the biggest thing I would say that's going on in my life at the moment is I'm launching a new brand. I just realized I haven't looked at the camera the whole entire time I've been filming this. My bad. I'm launching a new brand. I love the entrepreneurial area, if that's how you say that word. I don't fucking know. And with this brand, it's supposed to be around the whole like idea that is supposed to be, I guess, somewhat mental health based, but more about just like being kind to others and having good in the world. Love your neighbor. Be kind. Just knowing that you're not alone. Everything's going to be okay. And things like that. And just really being kind. So I'm launching a brand. And my ideas with this brand is that And you guys are getting exclusive information because I kind of didn't want to say anything about this, but I'm going to tell you guys because I feel like when you say things, then it happens. Like Sunkissed, I told you guys for so fucking long, oh guys, my self-tan's coming out soon. I didn't even have the product. I didn't even have it started. I didn't even have the name. Fucking nothing. I literally was just like, oh yeah, I'm launching self-tan soon. And then somehow pulled it off. Which we do have some stuff coming with Sunkissed, by the way, so be on the lookout. But I'm launching a brand. It's supposed to be mental health based. Sorry the fuck up, Sadie. You've been talking about the same thing forever. And my idea with it is to make almost like commercials with it. You guys are like, bitch. No, but I think it'd be so fun to be like almost a creative director for commercials for the brand, and not even like commercials like a Dove soap and they're like putting it on their body in the shower and it's like, I love Dove. Like telling a story through these commercials about the brand, because the brand, like I said, is supposed to be kind of about mental health, being kind, and just like making little, I guess, like skits or just like commercials, and they'll come out as we do new collections, new launches, stuff like that. So I'm super, super pumped about that. And that's what I've definitely been most head first into recently, and I feel like cared a lot about, which I think is still really fun because I'll be able to bring you guys like behind the scenes of a lot of stuff, and I just get so excited about it. And I feel like I got so lucky to where you guys just want to see me happy, and I think when I have a passion for something, you guys enjoy watching it. I don't know. I also think it'd be really fucking fun to do like a Kelly and Sadie cooking show. I think that'd be so fucking funny because I don't know how to cook and Kelly could teach me. So I think that'd be funny to like start doing those on my YouTube channel. I've just been trying to think of more things that are actually interesting to me versus just uploading shit because I feel like I kind of have to. And I'm very grateful and blessed to be in the position I am. I don't want to complain at all and be like, I don't like this shit anymore, so I'm not going to do it. I do still enjoy it. It's just that I've gotten over things being all about me and it being like, what am I doing? Where am I traveling to? What's going on in my life? I don't know. I've gotten over that. I like making videos, honestly, of other people and like editing them because I think it's like cool and fun and like I can do funny things, and then I like watching their reactions to it. So I think I just kind of like, I've always known what my passion was, but I've gotten thrown into a world of like, here's what you're supposed to do, and here's what's going to make you more money and get you more views. This is what your passion is. But I always say, follow what you love and everything else will be put into place, versus doing things that you hate, or not hate, but just don't really love because you feel like it's the smarter decision. Go with what you love. Do what you love. So yeah, that's what's been going on. That's where my head's at with everything. That's why I haven't been stressed out about recording a podcast episode. I've just been big chillin', and yeah, just not putting a lot of pressure on social media. I also think our world is so fucking fast paced. People want things like that. That's the reason why TikTok's so big. You want to see people fucking every day, versus you used to go on YouTube and it was like, oh, they upload on Tuesdays, we don't know what this week's video is going to be. Now it's like every single day you're seeing shit. I know I spam my Snapchat. The money's too good, y'all. I can't not. I don't want to sound like that, but really I don't know where Snapchat got this money they're paying people from. But I do spam my Snapchat. I actually do think that's fun. I enjoy the Snapchat life. But yeah. Anyways, though, earlier this year, let's get into the episode, I bought this. It was a notebook to honestly just write down like things to do, whatnot. And then I was writing like a little bit of a journal entry in the beginning. I'll read it. January 2nd. I wrote this. Happy New Year. Life is fucking weird right now. Mom is either going through menopause or just miserable. It's been a rough few months for you, and as scary as it has been, one thing that remains the same is your faith. Life has never felt so lonely. 20 years old, dream job, financially doing well, and can basically do whatever you want or go wherever you want, yet you've realized it's not about being able to do anything. It's not about how successful you get, how pretty you look, or even where you are. Life is about loving and appreciating those around you, being a good human and perspective. It's a crazy world we're in, but God has got us through our whole time down here. Everything is all planned perfectly for you, so just appreciate the simple things. Constantly remind yourself to view and act the way he would, to 2024. So that was during my down bad era. I was super down bad. I don't know what's on the back of this page. Oh, I was super down bad. And I just knew I wanted this year to be like, whatever. Well, so I wrote that as my first page. And then I was going to start writing notes in it. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to make this a journal. So it's a journal for, if it'll focus, for those who are watching. I don't know if you can see it. It's a journal for my daughter. There's some pretty nasty shit in here, so I don't know if my daughter will actually get this, maybe when she's a little bit older. But I just started writing like shit I was doing in it. And I was like, wait, how fun would it be to read it to TMI, or just like go through it and read things to TMI and just catch you guys up on everything that I feel like you haven't been caught up on. So yeah, it's a journal I've written. Honestly, we're like halfway done with it. Here's a little moral boost for you guys. Love yourself. What do you want? What makes you happy? What are your passions and talents? Look at what you have and things you're blessed with. God has given you your situation. He also has given you exactly what you need. So if you don't have something you want, it's because you don't need it, or maybe not yet. But what has God given you so clearly that you were born with these gifts that could lead you to your purpose? Where are doors opening for you? Where do you feel like he is backing you? Trust him. Everything is on his timing, so don't worry. Casting your worries to him and trusting his timing brings you freedom to live in peace. I think I was listening a lot to Girls Gone Bible. Yeah. Okay, so this is talking about, what do we call him? Burke. This is me talking about Burke back in January, giving my daughter all the tea on that sitch. This is me talking about going down to Tampa for Gasparilla. Still down bad. Okay, so I'm going to start you guys back in January, February, March, April. This is April 21st. And I said, oh, do we have some catching up to do? I'm violently hungover right now, by the way. Okay, and then I didn't write in this whole fucking journal for a month. Sorry, there were some things I can't read. I didn't write in it for a whole month, and I said I'm lolling at how I decided to say how hungover I was and nothing else. One thing this diary has taught me is that I surely can be inconsistent. Yeah, you fucking think. So do all your was that TMI knowers know that. And I suck at spelling. Oh, I also thought on the toilet earlier, I was like, oh my god, what if I started calling TMI the Pod Squad? Is that copying David Dobrik? Is he gonna copyright me? Here's what I'm gonna do to catch this up. And I said, is Snapchat still a thing? Because my future daughter might be like, the fuck is Snapchat? What if I don't have a future daughter? I'll give it to one of y'all. I said, if not, it's an app for people to send pictures back and forth to friends. They have on the app, whatever. I'm fucking explaining Snapchat to her. And then I wrote like a page of like my Snapchat memories and like doodled on it. And then so I said, okay, March 6th. So let's go back to March 6th. I drove down to South Florida and I was looking at apartments. I literally met up with a real estate agent and I was looking at apartments. I don't know if I told you guys this. I think I did. This is when I cried to y'all. And I said, Chad had a breakdown. Oh no, I just said had a breakdown. Sorry. I always think I'm saying Chad. And was scared to move and be alone. So I remember I went down to Jupiter. That's when I saw Katie on my way back up from Jupiter. But when I was down in Jupiter, I literally had a fucking mental breakdown, drove all the way home, cried with Katie. We went to the bar. We were getting like noticed a ton. And I was kind of like, fuck, I'm like, I don't know what to do with my life. Like, I'm so scared. I feel lonely. I want to move. I don't know where to move. I was just so down bad. So down. Anxiety was getting me. Then on the 10th, I got a call from an old friend and they were also down bad. And they were like, I'm down bad. I'm driving to your fucking house. And I was like, no, you're not, because I can't do this right now. And then I was like, actually, sure. So I had a friend come visit me and they were going through some shit. Hung out with them for a little bit. And then that was the month of March. And then I was getting pissed off because someone who was not a very good person to me was still fucking calling my god dog phone and my friends. So I decided to get drunk at Taco Mac one night on accident with two 50-year-olds. That was fun. And then I got my period the next morning. That was the worst hangover of my life. Anyways, I got drunk at Taco Mac and decided to ring up this person and say, stop fucking calling me and my friends. And they were like, I'm literally not. And I was like, okay, well, I literally have a fucking screenshot of you calling them, so please stop. You know, like those fucking gnats or like bugs that just like fucking come up to you all the time and you just want them to go away? That's how this fucking person was. Like, they just wouldn't go the fuck away. And so I was like, I literally have a screenshot of it. I was so hammered, so I was probably like, oh, literally screenshot of it. I was calling them a bot. I wasn't being the nicest person. It's not funny. And I was honestly doing what I should have done. I was finally like, fuck you. Like, stop fucking hitting up my friends, you fucking weirdo. And then I wound up crying because I felt mean after and I felt bad. And then I did, I think, call this person like 37 times or something to try and apologize. That same night I was drunk. So it was like a one night bad thing. But I told my daughter, don't worry about it. I said, if you do that, it's okay. We can drunk call 37 times and then act like it never happened, because who's going to get you in trouble? No one. Then on the 20th, I flew out with my family to Arizona. I went to go see my brother, who's out there playing baseball in the minors. Let's say a prayer for him. He's doing good. I think he's a little bit lonely. He would kill me if he knew I told you all that. But we flew out there. I put in parentheses, no cute athletes, but you got your teeth done. No more snaggletooth. I did get my teeth done out there. This camera fucking sucks, so I don't know how good you can see them. This is an expensive camera, by the way. I'm going back to my Canon G7Xs. I'm telling y'all right now, they're easy to use. They're simple. I don't want to have to learn about settings. I'm going back to those. But I got my teeth done. I felt so good. That dentist was so sweet. Loved him. Dr. Heaton out in Arizona, if any of you are curious. Then we go to the 30th. I hit 1 million on YouTube. I said I spent the next 2 weeks working on a documentary, and then I released The Road to 1 Million, My Story, a Sadie Crowell documentary. It blew up on TikTok a little bit and was such a huge eye-opener for me, and I hope many. Biggest lesson is we all need to love each other a little bit more. Keep that quote in mind. Okay, April. I spent the whole month in Georgia. I hung with friends. I went clubbing in Atlanta. I went to bars, did so much. Still no cute men, but TBH, I kind of like it like that. I'm living for me and no one else. Being young, that's important. Also, update, there's some tea in here. I feel like I have to give you guys some tea. Long story short, you cannot expect anything from anyone in this world, is what I'll tell you. People will use you and then stab you right in the heart. And I like to blame it on, I give everyone the benefit of the doubt. And I feel like whenever someone betrays you, does things that you wouldn't expect them to do, or cuts you off, even we can say, cuts you off, kind of stabs you in the back, I don't think that we should give them an it's okay card and be like, hey, it's fine, everyone fucks up. But at a certain point, I always just realize they probably have something going on in their own brain, in their own heart, in their own life. Like, I don't know. Nothing shocks me. If I'm super close with someone and then they just fucking like turn around and stab me in the back, it doesn't shock me anymore, because I'm just like, okay, they're just doing their own shit. I would personally never really do that, but maybe they have something else going on in their life. And I just try and like pray for those people. I'm not trying to be like, I'm perfect, I never am bad to anyone. No, I'm not saying that. But just, I don't know. I think that people will walk out of your life so easily and quickly, and you won't know the reason, you won't know the answers, and trying to like figure them out and figure out, why would this person do that, blah blah blah. you can't. And then also just being so fucking mad and sad about it. It's just a waste of your own energy because they were taken out of your life for a reason bigger than their reasoning. And you don't know why. They don't know why. Only the bigger person of the universe knows why. And I just think that as hard as it is, being the bigger person in those situations is so much easier. It makes you happier. It stores your fucking energy of like madness, all of that. Like I try to just be like, you know what? It fucking sucks. It's so fucking annoying. I don't understand it, but like whatever. However it's all supposed to work out, it's going to work out. But I had went through a little friendship breakup, I guess I could say. And I've also I forgive, but I don't forget. And I think that's a huge thing also. That's kind of like, I guess, been like a maturity thing of mine, is that I'll forgive someone and I'll still be there for someone. I think I talked about this actually in my last podcast that was alone. I was like, I just have boundaries. Like someone can do something really fucked up and then come back with their reasoning of why they're so sorry. And I'm like, hey, it's fine. Am I going to be your best fucking friend again? Definitely not. Am I going to go out of my way to hang out with you again? Definitely not. If you need to call me on a random Wednesday and cry about something and ask my advice, I'll give it to you. But I'm not going to be calling you for advice. I'm not going to be going out of my way to reach out to you. You know what I'm saying? So just a boundary. Okay, so this is a good story that I never told. So I did go to the Bahamas with Ford, and I told you guys that I was never going to go back to the Bahamas again. I just did a week ago. But I wrote June 6th, so I'm never traveling alone again. LOL, I'm kind of being dramatic. So my friend Ford and I have known each other for years. He's from Cali, and his family has a house in Florida. His grandparents also have a house in the Bahamas. I hadn't seen Ford in a year, so I was a little skeptical about going, but I want to live out my younger years while I can, so I said yes. Ford and I talked about that in our podcast. He was like, I honestly was hoping you were going to back out because I hadn't seen you in so long. I got there on the 31st, to Ford's Florida house. Got to Ford's, and we immediately went out that night. Like, we're literally sitting there, and he's like, should we, like, order some drinks or something? Ford's, like, cracking open a beer. I'm like, why is he, like, drinking right now? Because our flight to go to the Bahamas was literally at, like, I think we had to be up and leaving at 9 a.m. And I was kind of just like, okay, like, are we, like, gonna drink? And he's like, should we go out? Like, should we go out with, like, all these people? And I'm like, okay, sure. We get literally schlammered, go to a bar in Jupiter. I love Jupiter. It's my favorite place on earth. We go to, like, a college bar, and then we go to some other bar that's like a dive bar. And it was honestly so much fun. I met so many of you guys, and we were just like out on the town having fun. The second bar reeked of cigs, so we literally smelled like that on the plane the next day. But we had a grand old time. It was so much fun. I felt like I was with my Florida friends from up here. Like when we were going from one bar to the next, we all just like hopped in a truck bed and like took it across the bridge. And I don't know, that was like the first time I felt, no, I don't want to say like alive again, but just very like, I felt like a kid. I felt very free, and I miss that. I love feeling like that. Anyways, our first day on the island wound up being a hangover fest. The rest of the trip was amazing though. We met locals, went to bars, got on a boat, met some pigs, tanned. It was seriously so much fun. When I left, I had to take a ferry to the mainland so I could get on a plane. Not private. I fly Delta. Delta, can you like step up your American Express points? Because I feel like I don't get enough for how much I fly. Anyways, this airport sitch. So I get to the fucking airport after I literally had to leave the island, get on a ferry. Ford's so sweet and went with me to make sure I was good. Then I had to get in a car. This one bitch on the boat though was so pissed. She was like, this ferry leaves at 11. I was there at like 11:02, and she was like, we leave on the dot, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, okay. Well, then we get in the car. I'm in the car with all these people, and I'm like, this is awkward. The lady who just yelled at me is in the front seat. The car is taking us to the airport. So we get to the airport. We go through TSA, and the lady, who is not being very nice, is behind me, okay? And this airport is so small. We're literally on an island, so it's 2 gates. The airport was only 2 fucking gates. So you were either in this side or this side. 2 fucking gates. The security in TSA stops me after I check my bag. I'm going through TSA, and they go, we need to do an intense search on you. Go get your bags. keep in mind, this is not a TSA thing where it's like beep, beep, like everyone's going through to where like no one knows. Everyone knew I needed to get searched because in that moment, everyone in the fucking room could hear because it's such a small god dog airport. So I'm like, all right, what the fuck does that mean? Also, they have a very thick Bahamian accent. So I wasn't understanding some of the stuff that they were saying, which I think was pissing them off. And so I walked through like the little scanner thing. It was literally just one row where you put your bags on and then there was just one scanner. I walked through the scanner, and keep in mind this row is like 20 feet long. It's tiny, that like all your bags go through. And they were like, go get your bags. I'm like, okay. I walk over. They're like, what's yours? Well, of course, in my backpack, excuse me, it was an older backpack that I think my mom used to use. So I don't know what the fuck is in this bitch. And I had like my drone, my camera, my iPad, my fucking computer, probably my fucking flip phone when I used to have that shit. Just like every piece of technology you could ever fucking have was in this backpack. And this drawing I drew was so funny. My heart literally was in my fucking ass. I was like, huh? And then I literally fly all the time. I've never heard those words before. I've never heard anyone be like, we're doing an intense search on you. I don't know if those were the words they used. That's what I heard. But they were like, we need to search you way more than we're going to search everyone fucking else. And I'm just like, why? Like, what the fuck is going on? But I go over and I get my bags. Here's what was creeping me out. I met some locals on the island. Everyone was super fucking awesome, super nice. I love meeting new people. A few were a little bit too much, I would say, like a little bit too, let me get your number, let me do this, where are you going to be, I was looking for you, like just a little bit too, not even weird, but just like you never know, you're not in your own city, state, country, you never know what's going on. And so, rather be safe than sorry. I was kind of like, because we had told these people that I do like YouTube, because Ford Sisters, I think, had like mentioned that to a few of the local people or just like people working on the island. And of course my mind goes to like the worst. And I'm like, oh no, like I'm thinking of like horror stories of like when A$AP Rocky got like stuck in Europe, or, you know, when like people who were like, I'm obviously not known like fucking A$AP Rocky, but like these people didn't know that. I think they kind of thought I was like some celebrity or something because we were on an island where a lot of like celebrities go. And I was like, fuck, I hope that like this isn't some like sort of setup where I'm gonna like get in trouble for something or like something's going on. You know, my mind just is fucking freaking out. Like when people, that couple from the US that went to Turks and Caicos, and I guess one of them was coming back and accidentally like left bullets in his bag from, I'm assuming he was hunting, or maybe just like a gun he had, and he didn't even have a gun, he just had the bullets in his bag, and they like have him in jail over there, him and his wife, I think. I don't know, I was just like, fuck, what's going on? So they then tell me, you need to turn on all of your technology. And I'm like, okay, why? I don't want to say why because I don't want them to get pissed, but I was just like, why the fuck do they need me to turn on my fucking technology? Like, that's really fucking weird. What the fuck? And so I turn on my phone, I like open my computer, and I'm like, my iPad's dead. And they're like, you need to go charge it. Do you have a charger? And of course the lady behind me is the bitch who screamed at me. So I'm looking at her and I have like a face of fear. And I'm like, is this normal? Like, has this ever happened to you? And she was like, I don't know. I'm sorry. Like, I think it's just random. Bitch, this is random? The fuck? I was about to fucking sue. I'm like, what's going on? So I'm like, okay. Well, then some girl walks behind from the fucking counter where they were looking at all my technology and was like, come on, I'll walk with you. You have to leave TSA, which it was literally like there was fucking 2 people online. She's like, you have to leave and go back out there and charge your fucking iPad and then come back through. Once again, they have a very thick accent, so I'm having trouble understanding this. Well, then a girl comes up behind me and is like, oh my God, are you Sadie? And I was like, yeah. And I think she was like taking a picture with me or something. So then I like try to turn on my phone because I was going to call my dad because I'm like, holy fuck. They didn't like, one, that people were taking pictures with me. They didn't appreciate that. I don't know why, but they weren't enjoying that. And then also she was like, you cannot have your phone on in here. Turn it off. And I'm like, okay. So I leave TSA and I'm walking back through like a hallway and the lady's fucking following me, and I squat down to plug my phone in and she's like, no, you cannot do it in here, you need to go out there. And they're getting really fucking mad and I'm like, okay, like I'm sorry, I'm just trying to like fucking understand you, I don't know what's going on. And so I leave, I walk out to like the main place, I plug my phone in, I'm fucking shaking, I'm trying to call my parents, there's no service, of fucking course, and I'm like, okay, shit, like what's gonna happen, what's going down, like I'm scared, this is fucking scary. And I felt like they were like watching me, like they were like very much so watching me, and I'm like, what do they think I did, like what do they think is going on? And I saw this guy who looked about like maybe 22 who kept on looking at me, and I was like, should I walk up to this guy, like he was traveling, and I was like, should I walk up to him and be like, hey, this is what's going on, if something happens, can you please like help me? But then I was like, no, Sadie, he's not gonna know what the fuck to tell you. I plug in my iPad, it's charged to like 3%. I go through TSA again, and I go through, and one of the ladies on the side where they like look through bags is like, give me your passport. So I give her my passport, and then I walk through the thing, the like scanner thing, and the lady's like, where's your passport, like the one that was like scanning me. And I was like, they asked for it back there, like I'm sorry, like I don't know what's going on. And she was like, you have your passport? And they were like, yeah, we have it. And I think that they're like finding it funny how scared I am. Like I literally think that they were like laughing at me. And so I walk over, I'm turning on all my devices again, and I'm like, shit, are they gonna fucking look through it? Like what the fuck? And so I'm just turning them all on, and they're like, okay, you're fine. And then they're like, all right, you're good. After I have fucking everything sprawled out all over these tables, they're just like, yeah, you're good. I'm like, okay. So I put everything back in my bag, and they're like, you need to go get a new boarding pass though. Why? Fucking why? And I'm like, okay, cool. Where do I go? And they're like, you need to walk through, go to your like gate and ask for a boarding pass. Well, my fucking dumbass, it's only 2 gates, right? But I still struggle to find my own because I'm trying to walk around. I'm also getting, people were like noticing me, and I'm not trying to sound like that at all, but like I was getting noticed. And so I'm fucking profusely sweating because I'm freaking out thinking that I'm about to get put in jail in the Bahamas. And then also I'm trying to like meet people and act fucking normal. I'm just telling them, I'm like, y'all, I'm so scared right now. Like, I don't know what's going on. But I walk to the front of the fucking boarding pass thing, and I'm like, hello. And they're like, no, we're not boarding yet. You need to wait. We're not boarding. And I was like, okay, this lady back here just told me I need a new fucking boarding pass. What's going on? And on my boarding pass, they have like this huge fucking circle around this random ass shit. And I'm like, what the fuck? And so she's like, look, she's like, give it to me. And I give it to her, and she's like, oh yeah, you do. She's like, you need to wait because you're about to get searched again. So when that lady comes to search you, then we'll give you a new boarding pass. So finally my parents answer. I'm like shaking, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. My dad's like, you need to make sure that she searches you so you can get a new fucking boarding pass, because the last thing I need is them to not let you on that plane because she's not there to search you yet. So you need to go back up and ask. And I'm getting so embarrassed because like everyone's watching me just walk back up to this fucking thing and like talk to them, and they're getting angry. And I was like sitting there with my bag, and my mom's like, nothing's in your bag that shouldn't be in there. And I'm like, no, like nothing's in my fucking bag. Well, then I was like, the only thing that's in my bag is, I'm not going to say her name, my friend's ID. And I was like, hopefully they don't think anything of me having her ID. Because basically when I was in Atlanta, one of my friends lost her ID clubbing. I wound up actually just having her ID, whatever. And so I've had it since, because I've never been back up to Atlanta since then. That's in the side pocket of my bag. And my mom's like, okay, just throw it in your wallet. Like, that's not a big deal. It's fine. Like, if they ask anything. And I was just like, but what if they think that, like, I'm impersonating her or something? I'm just going to all the wrong fucking places in my mind. And I literally hear a voice in my head just saying, like, put the ID in your wallet. Put the ID in your wallet. Keep in mind also, my phone's now on like 5%. And I'm literally hearing this voice, put the ID in your wallet. Just put the ID in your wallet. And I'm like, okay. I'm getting looked at. I'm getting looked at by security. I felt like I was getting looked at. I felt like I was being watched. I felt like there was a camera right on me. And there was a camera in the corner. And I was like, I just don't want to be seen doing this because I don't want to be more sus. I was just so fucking paranoid. And then finally I walk back up and I'm like, okay, is she going to search me again? Can it happen soon? This lady is like, yes, I'm going to be searching you. Come on over. We go over to this table in front of fucking everybody. Like, I'm not kidding, guys. It was in front of literally everyone in the airport. And she's like, I have to take every single thing out of your bag. Are you okay with doing that out here? And I'm like, I don't fucking know what's in this bag because it's not fucking mine. And I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Because I don't want them to bring me something like in a room. Even if I was in fucking Atlanta and they were like, oh, we need to bring you in a room, I'd be like, no, you're fucking not. And so I was like, yes, do it out here in the open. I had to sit in a chair in front of fucking everyone as she whipped out every little thing from my bag. And I'm talking fucking tampon by tampon, vitamin C packet by vitamin C packet, hand sanitizer wipe by hand sanitizer wipe, dildo by dildo. No, could you fucking imagine though? And I'm sitting there and I'm like, please don't look in the pocket with the ID. Just please don't look in it. And I'm just like, if she looks in it, like, even though it's like, I'm not doing anything illegal, I'm just like, if they're trying to fucking plant something in my bag, if something like that is going on, they could use that as like a way of being like, who is this? Why are you impersonating them? I don't fucking know. And I'm just like, please don't look in that pocket. And I'm sitting there and I'm just praying and I'm like, God, I know that you are bigger than the whole universe right now. I know that you are just like, you can work your ways and you can just do whatever you want. And I was like, please make her to forget that pocket. I was like, please just make her forget that pocket. She's going through my bag. She's on this pocket, takes everything out, headphone by headphone, whatever the fuck. I had so much shit in there, so much trash. Then she's going through the back pocket. Computer comes out, tampon box comes out, fucking everything's coming out. Then she gets to the side where the ID's at. And I'm like, okay. And I'm luckily twiddling my fucking feet of anxiousness. And she looks down and she goes, oh my God, you need to have your shoes off. And I'm like, oh, sorry. Take my shoes off. And she's like, here, hand them to me. And I hand them to her. Well, she starts like almost emptying out my shoes. And when I tell y'all, they're opening up my fucking computer. They're taking wipes and they're wiping down my keyboard. They're wiping my hands. I'm like, what is going on? I guess you can just get unlucky and this happens to you. I don't fucking know. At the time, though, I thought I was the only one in the world getting this done and that they were going to throw me in jail. And of course, I'm fucking alone with no service, too. Luckily, my parents were answering. But I texted Ford and I was like, you might have to fucking come get me. That's happening. I hand her my shoes. Well, then she comes to my feet and she like I have to lift up my feet and she has to tap the bottom of my feet to make sure nothing's in my socks. And I think she like got distracted by that to where then she was like, okay, you can put your shoes back on. You're good. You're all done. She didn't look in the pocket. She didn't look in the pocket. And I'm like, God is so real. Like, God is so real. There's no way she would have just forgotten about that pocket if I hadn't have been like, God, please. Like, maybe she would have. But I genuinely think me being like, God, please don't let her look in that pocket. Please don't let her. Helps me through it all. So then finally, I get all my shit back in my bag. I go plug my phone in. And I go when I sit down. I'm still profusely sweating. I also have lip poisoning on my lips. My bottom lip looks like this. It's fucking massive with like a big white scab on it. And some girl taps me on the shoulder and she's like, hey, I've met you before. And then I'm like, oh my God, it was a girl I met like a few months ago in Georgia at one of my old neighbor's baseball games. She was with her mom and I was explaining what was going on and she was like, oh, my mom's a flight attendant for Delta. And her mom was like, oh yeah, like I got you. You're fine. I'm going to have to go up and make sure we get our seats. So just come with me and they'll give you your new boarding pass. So I wound up going up with her mom. Sweetest people ever. Oh, sorry, Tom. My car just turned off. Made me feel so much more safe. My poor mom was literally having a heart attack back here in the States. Like, she was like, you're never fucking traveling alone again. This is the shit that happens. And even the flight attendant was like, I used to travel alone all the time when I was younger, but I think now it's just such a scary world. You can't do it. And I was like, yeah, no, damn right. I'm never fucking doing that shit again after this. But that was my Bahamas experience. Then as I'm getting my boarding pass, a few other girls had noticed me, taken a picture with me. Everyone was super sweet. Then this older guy who was like a dad was like, you're famous, aren't you? And I'm like, like, I guess not really, but like, sure, I guess you can fucking say that if you want. I'm famous in this airport, I'm assuming. Or like whatever. And he was like, oh, like my son like told me who you were or whatever. And he's like talking to me as we're walking out to the plane. It's fucking pouring rain. There's a hot ass surfer looking dude in front of me. Had to be at least 35, but he was a smoke show. And I'm just like walking and I like notice this hot guy like keep on looking back at like what I'm saying. And I'm like, Please don't look at my fucking lip right now. I sit on the plane. I land back in the States. I go through customs. I'm like, never again. Literally never again. And that's going to be all of today's diary, because June 19th is what I'll read to you guys next week. And it is titled, I Might Have Met Your Dad. I Might Have Met Your Dad. That is what June 19th is titled. So we're going to read that next week. But that is a catch up on life. I kind of like this diary idea of like I read you guys my diary. I think it's kind of fun, kind of cool. That's about it for right now. And I've missed you guys. I hope you're doing good. If you listened to that whole thing, I'm shocked because that was a long story. But I hope you guys are good. I love you. I miss you. I don't think TMI is going to die. I think that I'm growing into a new person. We're having growing pains. Just a new era of life for all of us, and you're going to experience a new era of life for me. So yeah, hopefully I'll also get more organized because I'm working on that as well. But I love you guys to pieces. Thank you for sticking around. It means more than you will ever know. And stay tuned for the new brand we have coming. I'm super excited. And yeah, I love you forever, and love everyone. Be kind. Know that God always loves you. Amen. Goodbye.